Welcome everyone to this month's Astrocolorscope. My name's Elizabeth Harper. My website is sealedwithlove.com. So the idea of the Astrocolorscope is that in a moment I'm going to pick some crystals from this bag, throw them into a circle of houses, and then read the crystals, the colors, the energy of the house, etc., specifically for your sign. I'm also going to take a bead from my bead bag just for a little extra influence of color, see what else is going on. Then I like doing things in threes. Then I'm going to pick a card from the Voyager deck for your sign, and I'm going to ask you to take a look at the card and see what you are most attracted to in the collage of images, and then ask you what that means for you. Of course, I'll read whatever I see in that card as well, so we can put it all together for your particular sign. So before we get there, we're just going to have a little look at what's going on this month. So to begin with, we have one of the big things is Mercury is going retrograde on the 19th of May. And of course, retrograde actions happen all the time. But when it's Mercury, it's like one of those big deals, isn't it? That everything starts to move backwards. So it's in Gemini, which is its natural placing. So there's a sense of, it almost feels like, okay, so I'm going to be moving backwards a little bit through this sign because I love it so much. Communication slows down when Mercury starts to retreat. But in Gemini, there's almost a sense of calming down. There's almost a sense of, you are given this time to really focus on what it is you want to say, how you want to be perceived in this lifetime, let's say, how you want to communicate with your loved ones, with your friends, with the world, how you want to write, how you want your language to be. So you might find that this is a time where you want to write, where you want to write more, where you want to journal more, especially with Mercury, because it is a planet of communication, but because it's in Gemini, there's almost that sense of double communication that's coming up. So you might find yourself just retreating a little bit more. You may also find yourself biting your lip before you can communicate with somebody, or that you want to say something to someone and they're off somewhere else, and it's a little bit more difficult to communicate with them. Of course, traditionally with Mercury, it sort of messes up with the technical stuff. So, computers and cell phones and all this kind of thing can be a little bit out of whack, and especially if we've got any sun action going on that's going to send that our way, and then of course communication will have some problems then too. We've also got around the 13th to the 15th, we've got Mars, which is opposing Saturn, and Mars is a fiery planet. It's fire and it's action and it gets things moving, whereas Saturn, it's slow, it grounds you, it makes you really think before you take action. So with these two planets sort of opposing each other, it's almost like two people. So one person saying, let's do it, let's go for it, and the other person saying, no, we need to take our time. So there's a sense with this of push, pull, and you may have difficulty with decisions, especially as that Mercury is coming up. I know Mercury is coming up before the 19th, so you get that kind of preparatory, preparing action before the actual Mercury retrograde. So with Saturn and Mars opposing each other, and then we have the Mercury coming in as well, there's a sense of this month that it's going to be a little bit more difficult to make decisions, to really take action, to really move forward. So there's a lot of things that are pulling us back. Towards the end of the month, there's Mars again square Neptune, and Mars is the fiery energy and Neptune is the watery energy. But Neptune it links with your imagination, with that vision. You know, it's a Pisces energy, so we can go off into la la land, whereas Mars wants you to get moving. So there's movement in your feelings, movement in your emotions, and there's almost a sense with this of forgotten feelings. So something that's been stuffed down is going to start coming up again. This is perfect because of that Mercury retrograde, because we are going to go more inside of ourselves, communicate with ourselves, communicate with our emotions. So I can feel that coming up in me as well, which is kind of interesting. So there's a sense of, this is a wonderful month, but we're going very much into ourselves and we're bringing stuff out, and then we're going to be thinking about how to move forward. Am I ready to move forward? It's going to be a little bit slow, but there's a lot going on internally. So, okay, let's get on with your birth sign. Let's get started. Okay, Aquarius, so you have an interesting one. You have Preonite that went into your first house. Charoite that went into, hopefully I say that right, went into your fifth house. And then you have, hopefully I won't drop these, you have Green Aventurine that went into your 12th house. First, fifth, 12th. And then you have this violet stone that came up as an influence. So you got 2 violets and 2 greens. And that's interesting to me because violet and green are, violet is the color of the spirit and green is the color of your heart. So there's a soul energy that's there. So it's almost as if you are coming into this place this month that links with your karma, that links with your soul purpose, that links with your reason for being. And it looks like a big change. I can't get it out of my mouth. There's a sense of a big shift for you, but a lot of it has to do with your confidence, has to do with you letting go of maybe not being good enough, of thinking that you can't do something, and then realizing that you totally can do it. So, you know, with Preonite in that first house, there's a feeling of love. Often when I see Preonite, I always think of love. And with that first house energy, it's about yourself and how you are expressing yourself and how you are being born again, really. So we have this green. And then just before it, in the 12th house, we have this Green Aventurine that came up. So it's like and that's the heart. So it's almost as if you are finding something new. It's like a new journey that's coming up for you. You are moving amidst new people. You're awakening to your purpose. That's with the Charoite. And you're finding what truly makes you tick. It's really exciting. You know, it's a lovely, lovely energy. And especially with these greens, it's almost as if once you find this, once you find what makes you tick, then abundance starts to flow. It's amazing. It's like all this energy just comes through you, comes for you, comes at you. Lots of healing going on here. And what you might find is that you can give healing and advice and help to others as well with these green energies coming through. Aventurine is a stone of prosperity and abundance, and again that goes into your 12th house. 12th house is usually, you know, about enemies, and it's a lot of negative stuff in that 12th house, but I feel that it's about past life gifts, that there are gifts that are coming up for you and there's an abundance of those gifts, or you recognize finally that you have these wonderful gifts. I feel that is what this is. And then when you come to the Preonite, there is that sense of your body is ready, that you are ready for this next step of your journey, and the green is allowing you to begin again. I don't feel like you are changing. It just feels like freedom. You know, whatever it is, it feels like freedom. So then when we get to the Charoite, which is beautiful, this is such a spiritual stone. It went into your 5th house. And that is, it links with fun, and it links with leadership, and it links with friends, etc. But this is a stone of purpose, about finding your purpose. And it's connected in the creative house. I wonder if maybe your purpose has something to do with creativity. So it might not be the same for everybody, but the violet is transformation. So whatever it is, you are transforming and shifting and coming from that caterpillar into a butterfly. So you are changing something for sure and coming into this new state, this new awareness, this new way of being. And then of course with this violet, usually violet is change and transformation. This particular violet, you can't see through the stone, but it has a blue tinge to it. The Charoite has a link to the angels. So I feel that there's an angelic energy that's here, and I keep talking about angels just recently, but there's an angelic energy that's here because I've got angels all behind me, haven't I? There's a sense of you getting a clue, getting a sign that the path that you need to take, and it comes from an angelic being, comes from an angelic card, message, or somebody that you perceive as being an angel in your life. There's a message that's coming to you. Oh, I like that. So then the card that came up for you, take a look at this, see what you're most attracted to at this moment, and then ask yourself, what does that mean? What does that mean? So when I look at this card, I see this kind of as above, so below vibe that's going on with it. So there's this beautiful crystal in the top that's all faceted, and then there's the crystals in the bottom that are not faceted. So there's a sense with this of you are pulling down information, energy from the ethers. You're bringing it in to this confused space, to this place where everything maybe is in turmoil and you haven't quite figured it all out. But then you go into this etheric energy, the ethers, and you bring down information, and that is going to help you with your path. So let's say meditation, this is your own intuition. It's not somebody else's, this is yours. So it's you connecting yourself. So you may want to meditate and see how that works for you to connect. Ask the question, what is my purpose? What is my next step? Where do I need to go from here? And you're going to get that information. It will come to you. It may not come to you in the meditation. It might come to you after the meditation, but the energy locks in during that meditation, and then you'll be guided by that energy to find the answer to that question. Okay, that's it for this month's Astrocolorscope. Hope you've enjoyed it. Do remember to subscribe to my love letter and grab your free colour kit at bit.ly/colour kit. You can find out your true colours. Also, please leave me a comment below. Let me know if the messages resonated for you. And remember, I have my own store. I have lots of goodies in my store. This is one of them. That's store.sealedwithlove.com. And the final thing is, if you want to train with me, come to one of my play shops. I will be teaching an intuition play shop at the Omega Institute in July. You can find out more about that in my love letter. Okay, I will see you next week with the Colorscope, crystal Colorscopes, right? Lots of love. Bye.